Ladies and gentlemen, it is 1:29 a.m., September 18th, 2020. I am your planetary defense commander, Star-Lord New Thor 7 the T. And for the moment, I want you to pretend like I'm Nick Fury of S.H.I.E.L.D. And you're S.H.I.E.L.D. And so here I am on today's briefing with 100 hours until this mid-September event happens. This is the first frame we're looking at. And I just got done watching Spider-Man Far From Home, and it was an excellent movie. I highly recommend it. All right. And the satellites keep having glitches, bitches. Is it witches? Who can tell? But we're definitely on the highest Asteroid Fight Club red alert ever. And when the atmosphere gives you lemons, you better get to higher ground if you want to make lemonade. So this is the rainfall projection over the next week. And the Gulf is filled with water as above, so below, and even in the middle. And so technically, with these two storms being our mid-September event, we need real eyes in the Gulf and real eyes on the Atlantic as both of these systems move in, because I get a bad feeling. And not only will the Gulf be filled with rain, and depending on where future storm Wilfred goes, there will be a lot of rain dropped in the Gulf Coast states. And wherever Teddy goes, now some places have it going into Nova Scotia or Maine, some of the models have shown up to 55-foot waves. Now, I'm not here to scare anybody, but if you've been paying any attention at all in 2020, you will know that it is like a video game, except with real deaths and destruction in real life. So, this is a red alert. We have two major storm systems, and multiple models have shown two hurricanes hitting the USA or Canada at about the same time around September 22nd in some weird smiley face. So where the storms will go right now, nobody knows. And I got to remind you, although the NWS nailed Hurricane Laura, its models were much sketchier with Sally. And so, as we saw it projected, talking about Hurricane Sally, to go into New Orleans, it ended up going about 250 miles to the east into the Alabama and Florida state line for landfall. And so, if Hurricane Teddy, we're going to shift 250 miles more to the west over the same period of time, that would be a major problem. You see what I'm saying? Where they pretty much nailed the location of Laura, Sally was much more difficult. And that doesn't even count future Wilfred. Wilfred is definitely going to be really, really difficult to track. Asterisk. I got a gut feeling, a Peter tingle, that I will go to the southwest, although that is just an uneducated guess. Although I would say I would not be surprised if the caboose end of the tail gets pulled by the donkey. Well, this is like the donkey's tail. This giant rain band. So, sometimes lows attach themselves to the storm. And so, even though I think it would go southwest, I also think scientifically, non-scientifically, that it would get dragged to the east with this front. And so at this moment, nobody really knows where this is going to go or what it is going to do. But if you'll notice, we have a whole conga line, 1, 2, 3, and then here it's like 1, 2, 3, 4. And I also would like to point out, and then you got this one right here, that you've literally got all these planets, all the planets on the same side of the sun. And the sun is kind of like a circular orbit. So to have all the planets on the same side of the sun is a really big deal. You see what I'm saying? And so there's like no balance in our solar system. They're all on the same side. So it's almost like these planets we are seeing are representing the planets in our solar system. Because I know that we like to feel like we're Earth-centric and then Earth, the world or the universe revolves around Earth. But that's not true. The solar system revolves around the sun, and there are a lot of other planets in our solar system. And Pluto, Saturn, and Jupiter have been hanging out on the same street for about 2 or 3 years. And Saturn and Jupiter are leading up to a grand conjunction in December. So yeah, it's definitely all weird. And it's all interconnected. Ain't that right, Happy? And as your Planetary Defense Commander, who's been doing THORnews for almost 8 years, I can honestly say I've never seen the hurricane season map look this weird, this odd, this strange, or this active. And so now it is a great time to turn our attention to Mother Nature as a planet and definitely the United States of America, because both coasts are in danger, and what will happen next, no one knows. But Teddy definitely looks like a beast. He's got an anchor for a tail. And so, this is a red alert, dude. Absolutely 100 hours into this, until this event happens. Everybody get ready, get stocked up, especially on the East Coast. Definitely in the Gulf Coast. If you're on the coast, Florida, everybody, if you're on the coast, the next 6 weeks are going to be one of the wildest action-adventure natural disaster films we've ever seen. Although, stay cool, keep your prayers up, and try to imagine a better future together, because everything affects everything. Sound good? Hey, West Coast. Maybe it's because of the movie The Lost Boys, but whenever I see fog, I think of vampires, and Canadians are always talking about werewolves. So on top of the fire danger, definitely be ready for vampires and werewolves. And then frost, because it's going to cool down in some places. Thank you, Jesus. And then you have flood warnings over here. But for now, what happens next is pretty much anyone's guess. This is Tropical Depression 22's spaghetti model guess. And this is if you mean them together. And it definitely does seem like Mother Nature has centered around the middle or parts of the Gulf. But we're definitely keeping an eye on Crystal River. But that's supposed to be in the middle of October. But anything goes right now, really. And so I showed you that Sally plot for a reason. And so if this does shift a few ticks to the west, everybody from Maine down to Virginia, even the Carolinas, need to be ready, because that thing generates quite a wave train. And so with 2 major events happening on the Gulf, both sides of the Atlantic, and this is definitely something everybody should watch. 4 days away. Pay attention to and be ready, because like I said, this is showing upwards to 50-foot waves, whether it moves here or here. And then nobody really knows what this one's going to do. So we are absolutely paying attention. All right? Everybody stay cool. I'm on the night shift, and I'll be doing my best to bring you guys good information along the way. I love you guys. You're amazing. We're made for this. This is us going from the past into the future together as one Earth-strong team and family. It's exciting. God bless everyone. Stay cool.